करिष्यामि सिद्धे भवतु मे सदा वसुदेवं सुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं हरि ओम कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं. Yes, can someone recollect what is it that we saw last? We formed the link and move ahead. We are now in the 13th adhyaya of the Bhagavad Gita. The Kshetra, the Kshetrajna, and the Vibhag in the Kshetra. Yes, please. Anybody? Yes, anyone?
If you look at the last adhyay, where Krishna talks about those devotees who make him their supreme aim and follow the perfect faith, they are the one who are like very close to him, kind of thing.
Yes, absolutely. So they become the example of the Sanatana Dharma, such individuals whose entire ambition or aspiration is to only love the divine, and they not only adore the divine, they try to understand the teachings of the divine, they emulate the teachings, they walk the talk, they follow those principles in their life, and those are the most dearest of devotees of Krishna are those who are living by the meanings of the scriptures. So I think if any of us wishes or aspires to be the dearest devotee, our path is quite simple, isn't it? I mean, simple enough to at least understand logically. Maybe difficult to practice is immediately. I think some eyebrows were raised when I said the word simple. But isn't
It's
at least
simply difficult,
simply
but not
difficult?
impossible.
Okay, Shashiji says simply difficult. But isn't it nice to actually see that not much is asked from us, isn't it? From the divine. Not too much has been asked. Just live the principles, be sincere, bring into practice the teachings. Meaning, what is ideal should also be practical, isn't it? We have to try to bring that ideal into the practical. That is what Krishna is saying. But there are so many in the world who live by the principles, who stand by them, and by direct consequence, they become closest to Krishna. With this, we are ready to enter into the 13th adhyay. There are two versions of this adhyay only. One version shows Arjuna asking a question to Krishna first. It starts with a shloka of Arjuna, where Arjuna asks Krishna that what is the Kshetra, what is the Kshetrajna, who is the Kshetrajna, what are the Vibhaga? And then Krishna responds. And in some others, like in the Gita Gorakhpur edition, Gorakhpur of the edition of the Gita Press, or in Sri Aurobindo's commentaries and all. And we see directly this adhyaya has slokas number total 34. In some versions, there is 35. That is the only additional difference is only in the question by Arjuna. In other places, it is like Krishna is continuing from the 12th adhyaya. We will go ahead by this system only. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Idam Shariram Kaunteya Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetramitya Bhidhiyate Etadyo Vettitam Prahuhu Kshetrajna iti Tadvidaha. Shri Krishna answered, O Arjuna, this physical body that you own is the field that is to be known, and he who knows in principle its foundation, he is the knower who knows its mode of operation. So far, everybody in the spiritual life look at physical body as something like a vestigial organ or something which is not so important. But here you see Gita, Krishna is saying here, Idam Shariram Kaunteya. This is the field, is what he's saying. This physical body is the field. Whoever knows in principle its foundation is the knower who knows its mode of operation. One small question: how can our body be called the field? Anybody?
Action is taken like
Action
a
sake.
field where war goes on, like it's
Does
been
war go
set,
on inside of us?
yes, of us,
How?
and we have to learn to overcome all the difficulties.
So
It's like a
mentally,
Kurukshetra, the field, the body is like a Kurukshetra.
but so that is like a, you're talking about the mind, isn't it, Shashiji?
Uh, the, the mind as in the mind, or the mind as in
The mind, yes, from where thoughts, you're talking about battles that we fight, mental battles.
yes, but physical too, because we're asked to build a strong body in
Yeah,
order to
okay.
face all the difficulties. They're not just mental, they're physical as
Yes,
well.
so physical as well. Battles we are fighting. If we look at our body, also is like a huge universe only, isn't it? We
Yes.
had a workshop called Learning Through Nature, in which children were participating. It was a children's workshop. School children were there. Suddenly, one child really got so, astounded, and she was very happy, and she started remarking to everybody, what a beautiful miracle this body is. So many things are taking place. And it was like almost a child seeing a Vishwarupa. She was actually feeling that this body is so vast. And in a way, it is true, isn't it? Mentally, a lot of people fight battles, yes. And every time there is what we can say, mind is thinking one thing, heart thinks another thing. And again, there's a very funny logic. Tongue gets confused whom to listen, mind or heart, and tongue speaks something which is neither in the mind nor in the heart. So these are mental battles, but in the physical also, our body goes through so many changes. Inside of the body, somebody who has studied human physiology will say, what a remarkable action is taking place. It is Kurukshetra. We see a balance, we see samatha because there are two opposite forces continuously at play, sympathetic nervous system and a parasympathetic nervous system. When they are both fighting, only that time you can have homeostasis. If one of them decides, I'm not going to fight, the balance of the body is lost. And at every given point, there is something in our beautiful physical body which we have to understand. So, just because we are on the spiritual path does not mean we can ignore the physical body, because Krishna is bringing us back to the ground, back to the base, saying, this is your body. This body is the first kshetra or the field that you have to know. There's a nice slogan, Shariram Adyam Khalu Dharma Sadhanam. Interestingly, this is also a motto of an organization. Anybody knows the name of the organization or which field it is from? Shariram Adyam Khalu Dharma Sadhanam. It's,
Neurology, maybe?
yeah, close. It's from the medical field only. It says for AIMS, no? AIMS has this motto.
Ah, okay. Yes, yes.
Yes, and it means just that your first duty is towards your body. Because if I want to live in this world, I have certain ideals. I want to stand by those ideals. I need a body, isn't it? A strong body.
Yes.
Otherwise, what is the use
Yes.
if I just until mind goes everywhere, but my body I am not taking care. It will
Mm.
just disintegrate, and so will my entire principles. Where will they stand then if I am not existing at all? At least when I have to do duties, if I understand that the body is a medium for me, it is like a vehicle, then I will take good care of it, isn't it? We want to travel. We have to take good care of our vehicle, otherwise it will break down. So, because it's very tempting to consider the body as inferior in comparison to the brilliant divine and not work on it at all. But it is very important here. Krishna is pointing out. He begins this adhyay after the way of bhakti yoga, that just because you got a darshan or just because you love me and adore me and you're trying to follow principles, does not mean you can ignore your physical body because it's not yours. I have given it to you. You better take care of it. It's not your property. So let us see. Krishna goes on. Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata kshetra kshetrajna yor jnanam yata jnanam matam mama. As the knower, as the knower supreme, recognize me, knower of all the fields that can in existence be. This knowledge of the knower and the field is the ultimate wisdom that a being can wield. There is one supreme knower, is what Krishna is saying. Because each of us has different kshetras, isn't it? Everybody has a different body. If you consider each body as a field, well, we have multifarious fields, and all people are there in so many different shapes, sizes. Everyone has different body prakritis. In Ayurveda, we do the study of the prakriti. Some may have a kapha dosha, some may have a pitta, some may have a vata. It might be different. Each person's constitution is different. But no matter which kshetra it is, Krishna says there is only one kshetrajna for all the kshetras. As the knower supreme, recognize me, knower of all the fields that can in existence be. The knowledge of the knower and the field is the ultimate wisdom that a being can wield. So first understand the field, which is your body, isn't it? You go to a doctor, first thing doctor has to learn from you only, no? About your body. He has to understand what is your excuse me, one moment. He has to understand what is your case history. Unless you give that, he cannot operate. It's something like that. And who can know your case history other than yourself? Which is a medication that will go for you? What are your allergies? How do you respond? What is your way of working? All these factors are important. So something like that, you recognize your field, but remember there's only one knower for all the fields, that is the supreme divine. Recognize the field, recognize the knower. When you understand this, Krishna says this is the greatest wisdom that a being can have. Let us see. Tat kshetram yat cha yadruk cha yad vikari yatascha yat sachayo yat prabhavascha tat samasena me shranu. Just one moment. Yeah. Tat kshetram yat cha yadruk cha yad vikari yatascha yat sachayo yat prabhavascha tat samasena me shranu. About the field and its multifarious diversities. Excuse me. About the field and its multifarious diversities, of its source, nature, and inherent deformities, and also what it is, and what is its influences sphere. I shall explain them to you, so lend me your ear. Krishna is telling, I'll tell you not only about the Kshetra, I'll tell you about the various divisions of the Kshetra, meaning now the Kshetra is not just the body. Initially, it began with Krishna saying that this is your body, which is the Kshetra, your human body. But now looks like this Kshetra is spreading. It is extending beyond the physical body also. And he says, I will tell that to you. There is a lot of diversity as we see in this world, isn't it? Diversity is one of the rules of this universe. Everywhere. Go to a smallest pond. You will see inside of the pond what a brilliant diversity of organisms, different types of life forms. Everywhere. It is there. It is a part of Prakriti. Krishna says, I shall tell that to you. And also what it is and what is its influences sphere. I shall explain to you. I shall explain them to you. Lend me your ear. So he says, listen now. Means each of these vibhaga, each of this kshetra has its own sphere of influence. What is the limit of that influence? How far does it go? I shall tell all of that to you, is what he says. We also have a sphere of influence, isn't it? How do we identify that? Anybody? What is
Emotional,
okay?
mental, we can hear. You get
Yeah,
influenced by all your senses.
right. And can we influence?
Yes, absolutely. Influence back.
We can also, isn't it? So, and it depends on the individual. What is the sphere of influence? You can sometimes draw a circle around yourself, understanding where is your sphere of influence actually. Like, for instance, you are in a room right now. You might not be looking who is coming in, who is going out, but you're conscious, isn't it? What happens in that particular area where you are aware. So that is your sphere of influence. So Krishna says, I will tell that to you. I'll tell you about the source, the origin of that field. What is the nature of the field? And then there is something interesting, which is the vikara. Vikara in the sense is deformities. Now my question is, why do we need to know about deformities or distortions?
How to better use them, how to come out of it,
Okay,
how to overcome them.
okay, that's fair enough. Yes, and do we have distortions? Do we see distortion? Yes, Pankaj is adding something. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, there are distortions, and we need to know about it so that we can keep away from it.
Okay,
And if,
okay.
yeah, and if by any chance it happens, how to get rectified, how to get it
Right.
cured.
And this is the truth, isn't it? Deformations are there in the world, everywhere we go. Even if
Yeah,
we walk on the spiritual path, we will have good ideals, but we will see or we will see ourselves also, as it is very nice to see our faults in ourselves first, because
yeah,
that will allow us to purify ourselves better. So
that's
that
right.
need that is part of nature. Some kind of distortion. As Krishna says, that is also a part of the field. The field is now growing vast. In our thermodynamics, we had a very nice way of whenever you have to design a machine, you have to have first understand system, surrounding, and environment. These are the three factors you have to identify. What is the system? What is the surrounding? What is the environment? And what are the interactions? So it would be a very simple mechanism even for whether it is a heat engine or whether it is a refrigeration cycle. We would have a similar diagram, only direction would change. Heat is moving from here to here, other place it's moving in the other direction. But when you are sure of this principle, you can then operate very well. You can design your own machine element. You can design whatever you want. When you understand this basic principle, something like that, Krishna is now giving that. Isn't it interesting that Krishna is suddenly changing gears after giving Vishwarupa Darshana? He is now talking about something very different. Do you think it is logical?
In
Why
the
is it?
initial
Yes, sir.
6 chapters, he talked about doing yoga, karma
Yes,
yoga.
yes,
Then
sir.
next 6 chapter, he talked about bhakti yoga. Now
Yeah.
he's talking about knowledge.
Now he's talking about knowledge. Okay,
Yeah.
but then there was Raja Vidya. We saw all of that earlier also. So, but then the one important question is we need to know things to get darshana. But after darshana, he is now sharing certain practical knowledge. Why do you think this could be the case?
I think to give the picture in totality.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
See,
But,
after the Vishwarupa Darshana, he talked about Bhakti Yoga. Now,
huh,
to do Bhakti, you need the body or the and the mind. So
yeah,
he's
yeah.
talking about the that probably here.
Yes, isn't it? Okay, that's interesting because I
Yes.
think for yes, Rahulji wants to add
Yes,
something.
Ramji wants to add something. Yeah, like Ramakrishna Paramhams gave the Samadhika experience to Vivekanand Pehle, and then he went
Hmm.
into doing Yam Niyam. A
Yes,
great
yes.
master or the greatest teachers gives the ultimate first, and then you once you get a taste of it, then you figure your way up from where
Yeah.
you are.
All right, all right. So that's interesting. Shashiji was adding something, is it? Yes, Maju? Were you?
No,
Okay, fine.
the
All right.
They've said it all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yes, ji. So this is interesting because many times what happens is when we start getting experience, little experience, we start thinking we have got all the experience. Imagine we get a darshan in our dreams. We start getting carried away. Oh, today I have got darshan, that's it. Now my part is complete. Or sometimes people get it when they are awake. Tell me, what will you do after the darshan? What will a person do? Say you get a darshan of the Vishwarupa. What is going to happen after that? Yes, sir.
Back to normal life.
Back to normal life, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's absolutely because you are now, you have to go back to normal life. You have to do your duties. And the question is, how do you do the duties after something? It is like, I remember we used to play badminton. That was my main thing. I don't know why I went to school. I only knew that I had to go there. That's why I went there. But the aim was to play. And one tournament, which was supposed to be the most important state level tournament, I had got a prize there. I was so happy. But I couldn't tell anything to the friends of mine because it happened on the weekend. And the next day I'm sitting in class and not understanding what should I do here. Because after darshana, many yogis they get experience and they say now I don't need to grow anymore. In Marathi there is a phrase ata urlo upkara purta. Now I am remaining only for blessing the world. But I think some yogis are there who have said I have to keep growing. Sri Aurobindo also talked about it, that the path never ends. We have to keep moving forward. So how do we proceed after the darshan? As I think Pankaj rightly said, it is a practical aspect.
Yeah,
Gita.
I
Yes,
also
sir.
want to add something here
Yes, sir.
because I have met one or two person
Yes,
who
sir.
says that they went into like meditation, deep meditation,
Yeah, yeah.
and they could touch that level. They see blue sky and Shankhnad and all
Colors,
that.
lights, yellow
Uh,
and blue and
right.
yes.
So when they talk about it, they try to influence me कि आपको भी करना चाहिए. There is, it is
Okay.
possible to do, to see all those things.
Yeah.
तो मैंने कहा फिर जब आपने देख लिया है तो फिर वापस क्यों आए जब आप वहां सुखी थे. So why did you come back? I mean, what is that reason?
Uh,
So at that time looks like there is no choice. I mean,
yeah.
you have to come back to this world and you have to live normal life.
Yes,
But
yes.
there might be some yogi who probably want to elevate to the next level.
No, yes, yes, no, it is required. That what is required, I think let Krishna take us there. We have to become conscious, we have to be aware, but we should not lose our connect with the world. That is something
Yeah.
like Arjuna is supposed to experience the
Yeah.
highest state of consciousness and then enter into Yuddha.
Correct. Come back and start, fighting. Yeah.
Yeah, just like a few years back, around 4, 5 years back, my father was admitted in the hospital and he was in the ICU. And one of my mischievous classmates was the doctor there in the emergency room. So he was the last person we thought would be the doctor, but he was there. He came as part of his rounds and he said hi. And we were like back in school. But he had heard I'm connected with the Gita. So he said, you are going to, would you like to have coffee? I think you're reading Gita, so I don't think you will be able to join me. I said, yes, yes. After reading the Gita, I have just stopped, eating also. I have stopped coffee also. I don't have to worry about bowel movement also. Nothing of that sort. Because this is the misconception a lot of people have. When you get spiritual knowledge, you get some knowledge. That knowledge has to, like Sri Aurobindo very beautifully talked about ascent and a descent.
Yes.
Means it has to be coupled. Means your knowledge you are getting is not for an individual extinction. It is for loka sangra, betterment of the world.
Yeah.
So yogis used to rise to the highest state and bring that down for the sake of the world. They experience that, understand it, and then make it
Yeah.
descent. That was something which is important, and that is probably why Krishna is trying to tell this after the darshana because sometimes it is very brilliant. Imagine seeing a beautiful Chaturbhuja Rupa of Krishna or even the Vishwarupa. And then even in bhakti, sometimes in the bhakti rasa, you feel so wonderful. You feel, why should I look at all of this? I mean, singing a bhajan is so much more fun than hey, why didn't you do today's work? I mean, imagine for me, choice factory, I have to go and ask someone, and I have to ask in a tone only. Otherwise, if I ask politely, also that person will neither do the work nor listen. So sometimes it feels, what is the reason? Well, if we understand life is the, we can say, medium given to us by the divine as a means for sadhana, then we realize that we cannot leave this world until the day the divine calls us for it. And that is why Krishna is, we can say, asking Arjuna to become conscious of this. What is this way of the world? What is the Kshetra? Who is the Kshetrajna and the Vibhaga? So let us continue. Krishna goes on. Rishibhir Bahuda Geetam Chandobhir Vividhaihi Prathak Brahma Sutra Padaischaiva Heturmadbhihi Vinishchitaihi. The sages and the ancient seers of old have in their hymns thus extolled the Brahma Sutras, the great scriptures classical, describe its philosophy and rationale in a way most logical. Krishna is saying about ancient yogis. In his time, they were ancient. In our time, they must be so much more ancient. He says these yogis of the ancient times who composed the suktas, and he gives example to a beautiful scripture called the Brahma Sutra. This is a great classical scripture which talks about the highest philosophy of the Brahman. He says there the philosophy is described, the philosophy of this world, philosophy of the Kshetra, of the Vibhaga, everything is there, he says. And rational is explained in a way which is most logical, which can be understood by individuals. He goes on further, he says, Mahabhutan Yahankaro Buddhiravyakta Meva Cha Indriyani Dashaikam Cha Panchachendriya Gocharaha. The field consists of the ego and the five elements. So the Kshetra is now being defined again for us. What is the Kshetra? Well, the Kshetra has Ahankar. The first thing in the Kshetra, Krishna says, is the ego. So ego is present in the field. Next, there are the five elements, the Pancha Mahabhutas. Then there is the mind, 10 senses. In the sense, what is this? It is the five sense components. We have five senses and they are sense components, isn't it? Totally making it 10. And so eyesight is the sense. And our eyes are the components of that sense. They allow us to experience. Like the skin allows us to experience the touch. Like the nose allows us to smell. So this is the combination, is what Krishna is saying. So the field consists of the ego and the five elements. The mind, the 10 senses, there are five sense components of touch, taste, smell, sound, and sight, and also the inextensible and unmanifest light. This is one interesting aspect. Unmanifest light. There is one unmanifest light which is also present in the Kshetra. Panchamahabhutas, we have come across them earlier also. Ego is also present in the Kshetra. Mana is also there. Mana, we can say mind, ego, the elements, the senses and sense components, and also the unmanifest light, some phantom light which is present in this Kshetra, which is not yet manifest. This is interesting for us to understand about the field, meaning wherever we are, whichever field we may be in, there is a light which is hidden, which is not yet manifest. It is like you are in a room and say you have just a very dim bulb with a low wattage. What is going to happen? Will the room change in dimension if you change the bulb? You get a better, more brighter bulb. Will the room change on its own? Anybody?
Yeah. Well, the light would show things much better.
Better, isn't it?
Yes.
But the world will have the same items, whatever are there, but you are going to understand better. Something like that. There is an unmanifest light wherever we are, whichever place we are in. If we experience that, Krishna says if we experience that, probably it can make a great difference, because it is a very great hope, isn't it? When you realize that there is a light of the divine which is there in every kshetra. If we can access it, life will become different. Or in
Mm.
Shervindo's words, we will start living what is a life divine. Yes, Rahulji. Yes, sir.
Question, is that light that he's talking about, is that the Atman or that is the Kshetrajna?
No, now we have not yet seen who the Kshetrajna is.
Okay. So
So
this is
this
just
is a,
one light he's talking about.
yes, avyakta.
Okay.
That is not yet manifest.
Okay.
We will go further actually to see what this is, because in this shloka it is only this much. Krishna says this is also present, meaning ahankar is also present in the kshetra. So you remove the can we remove? Can we say I have no ego? Can I say I have no
Mm.
ego? Who is the I that is saying I don't have ego? It is ego only, isn't it?
Yes.
This person is so egoistic. Who is searching that? Ego is only searching another person's ego, no? So ego is
Yeah.
there in this field. As Sri Aurobindo says, ego is a helper, ego is a bar. It can initially help, and then afterwards, it's like a wild horse, which if you can tame it, you can really go ahead. Otherwise, well, even Superman can get injured after a fall from the horse. It is just like that. We have to understand it. So this is something Krishna has told. So we did not get very frustrated when we see that, because sometimes discovery of ego is painful, no? Especially if it is
Yes.
our own ego. Nobody likes it. I remember one experience I had. It was so bad I wrote a poem, Monster in the Mirror. And it was in such a pain that the entire poem was in a single rhyme only. It was like just same rhyme scheme, because it was hurting me so much. Because we don't like it. It's a part of us. We should recognize it and work on it. Yogis are able to verify it. They're able to, with their sadhana, make it more and more subtle, subtle, and ultimately, when they become divine, it is actually dissolved. Till then,
So
we
it's
have,
like a friend and a foe
yes,
at the
yes,
same time.
yes,
It's
yes,
a
yes.
foe leading us to become,
Something
leading
else.
us to better ourselves. So it's a foe and a friend.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a foe that you should not listen to. If you don't listen to it, it's your friend. And at times you need to understand. There's a beautiful line in, there's something called Swabhiman and there's something called Abhiman.
Yes.
I am proud
The
of being
thin
an,
line
a
between.
thin line, a thin line. That line is where we have to, which it should not be, it becomes arrogance. When pride
Mm.
becomes arrogance, that is the problem. So anyway, let us
Yes.
continue. Krishna goes on. He says, इच्छा द्वेषः सुखं दुःखं संघातश्चेतना धृतिः एतत् क्षेत्रं समासेन सविकारम् उदाहृतम् desire dislike dislike pleasure and pain are the field's principal deformations that reign, and consciousness differentiation and perpetuation are its principal constituents, with many a modification. So desire is present, dislike, pleasure, and pain. What are these all four? Krishna says are the field's principal deformations that reign. Consciousness, differentiation, and perpetuation are the principal constituents, with many a modification. So there is desire, dislike, pleasure, and pain. All of these are like distortions or deformations. There is also something called consciousness, and there is differentiation of that consciousness. Meaning, there is that Mahavakya, isn't it, in Sanskrit? Eko ham bahusyami. I am one, let me become many. So the one consciousness of the Supreme Divine suddenly began differentiating. After differentiating, it enters into different people in different states, isn't it? All of us are essentially one, are we not? Yet
Yes.
we have different choices, different preferences, different taste of clothes, different way of lives, different experiences. So what is all of this? If we are one, how are we so different? Well, we are one, but we are having a differentiation of the consciousness. So that is what is there in this field. Everywhere that one consciousness of the divine has differentiated. And Krishna says there's also perpetuation, meaning that is how human race goes ahead, isn't it? Generation after generation, there is this perpetuation. That is also a part of this field. One may wonder what is the reason Krishna is telling all of this. Let us see, because he's readying Arjuna to enter into the next chapter also, because next chapter onwards, we're going to be understanding the actual mode of functioning of the forces of the divine. There are said to be three types of forces which are working. And those forces, how does one get influenced by them? And how does one rise above the influence? That is going to be taught. So, this is the base which Krishna is reading right now in this adhyaya. Let's continue. Please feel free. This has a lot of abstract topics in this particular adhyaya. If you wish to discuss anything or you want to ask,
Pleasure is also a deformity.
yes, yes, pleasure also. Pleasure is different from ananda. Pleasure
Oh,
is
okay.
driven by the desire only. So pleasure is also a deformity. Krishna goes on, Amanitvam, Adambhitvam, Ahimsa Shantirarjavam, Acharyo Pasanam Shaucham, Stairyam Atma Vinigraha. Devoid of exhibitionism and self-priding arrogance, replete with non-violence, compassion, and a patient tolerance, with purity from within, serving with love the spiritual teacher, and with the mind firmly in control of its lower nature. Now, this is certainly interesting. Krishna is now giving us some kind of uh, qualities of individuals, isn't it? Behavioral traits he's talking about. So if we can, we just make a note in our minds or somewhere in our diaries, it is from shlokas number 7, 8, 9, and from 7 to 11. These are the ways of the traits of the kshetrajna. How do you identify? How do you identify someone is on the path? It is not by just the outer appearance. Because nowadays, anybody, we have technology, we have people, we have great makeup artists also. So we can't really go by outer aspects. So these are the traits that allow a person to understand who is the Kshetrajna. Question is, why do we need to know who is the Kshetrajna? Anyone?
How else would we improve ourselves?
Yes, yes. We need to learn and grow, isn't it?
Hmm.
And sometimes we need to learn from the right person, isn't it?
Yes.
We learn from the wrong person, it will be like one blind man leading other blind people into greater darkness. So, how do we identify? My teacher had, yes, Rahulji wants to share something.
Now, I have a question, Sushruji, which is the qualities of that Bhagwan said in the last chapter, which is dearest to him, and the qualities of Kshetrajna are different.
Yeah. Yes, I'll just share why, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
So in the last adhyay, Krishna gave these qualities of who is the dearest devotee. Means if it is for us when we aspire as a devotee, if we want to become a devotee, how do we be? What should our behavior be? Here it is for the knower, who is going to be the Kshetrajna. How does one become? These qualities are the traits of a person to become the knower. So that is the only difference, Rahulji. Can I go ahead, sir?
Then it is same now, because I think those qualities themselves were like taking you towards becoming and
The
merging with
Kshetrajna.
God, right?
Yes, 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 absolutely. Let us just look, because if you see the one moment, I'll just there's an echo coming from Rahulji's mic for some reason. Yeah, if you see you connect with the 12th adhyay to this, no, you will find very nice parallels. Especially the one shloka is there, ninth shloka and shloka where Krishna says a soul who is having great conviction to be detached from your own family members. We came across that, isn't it? People, if they are able to be detached from the family, we see something similar coming here. So there is similarity. The only difference is this is allowing us, that is for the aspiring sadhaks to become the aspiring bhaktas. Here is the, as for the aspiring, what we can say, people who want to become the kshetrajñas, who are, it's like all paths going to the same place, but this is another set of ways where we can identify. Or in a very interesting way, sometimes people get confused, whom do I follow, which direction should I take? Meaning, on my, I understand certain things on my own, but sometimes I cannot learn on my own, isn't it? I need help, I need direction from somebody. But the question is, how do I identify? So one very nice quote my Guruji had very nicely told me about how to identify people. He who knows not and knows not that he knows not, leave him. Somebody who does not know, and that person does not know that, he does not know, leave him. He who knows not and knows that he knows not, teach him. And he who knows and knows that he knows, follow him. So that is something of that sort. Krishna is just giving us some traits here. He says, let us look at the traits, and maybe in hindsight we will look at how is it so different from the last adhyay. Because last adhyay Krishna said, who is dear to me? I'm telling you, such people are dear to me. Now he's saying this is the way of the kshetrajña. This is the path of the kshetrajña, path of the awakened yogi. What are the traits of the person who has gone ahead? That is being shared here. Let us see. Devoid of exhibitionism and a self-priding arrogance, replete with non-violence, compassion, and a patient tolerance, with purity from within, serving with love the spiritual teacher, and with the mind firmly in control over its lower nature. So one is devoid of exhibitionism. I have so and so many things. Some people have this ability, I mean, I would not call it ability, a tendency to show off, to exhibit everything that they have. Krishna is saying that's not really a nice trait. It's not the trait of a wise, awakened yogi. So devoid of exhibitionism and devoid of that self-priding arrogance. I am so and so. I am so great. No, all these kind of traits have to be avoided, is what Krishna is saying. It seems to be like just general advice, but it's so important in life. We have to be alert because we have been told, isn't it? Ego is there. Without our knowledge, we suddenly start. I know one very senior person. That person was well known, and so that is why that individual was called as a guest. But that person started saying, I am the right person to be present here to be felicitated. I mean, where is the humility? Where is the so-called wisdom? No wise person will be arrogant, isn't it? So, but it comes in through the ego. So we have to be alert. So we have to identify: am I showing off knowingly or unknowingly? Let me stop doing that. Am I arrogant, taking pride in myself? Nothing is mine. Everything is the divine's. Let me remember that. Replete with non-violence, ahimsa. This is again told by Krishna to Arjuna. Arjuna must not seek violence, even if his action is going to be quite violent and going to be killing his enemies. The element of violence should not be there. The mind must be calm, replete with non-violence. Compassion. Compassion and a patient tolerance. Compassion is your heart should beat, isn't it, for the world? And patient tolerance. Patient tolerance in the sense we must have a limit to bear things. Look at Krishna. Krishna is the epitome of patience, isn't it? When Arjuna was speaking so many things, he did not show any kind of arrogance. He did not show any anger. He did not get frustrated. I think that's one of the brilliant ways. If you see, our aim is to ultimately become Krishna conscious, isn't it? So how do we become that? Well, this is a simple way Krishna is offering. Have a great tolerance. Increase your limits of tolerance with purity from within, serving with love the spiritual teacher, and the mind firmly in control over its lower nature. This is a very interesting aspect. The heart must be pure, and this seva of a guru is what Krishna is saying. Serving with love a spiritual teacher. Why does it need it? Anybody?
He's the one who's showing you the way.
Okay. But why go and serve, isn't it? Why serve? Serve when we have all our duties, our own actions. Why should I do any service towards the
You don't
guru?
get something without nothing.
What is it, Shashiji?
I said you can't get something without nothing. It's a form of exchange, if you get my
Okay.
meaning. Call it
Okay.
Guru Dakshina, call it whatever you want. You can't just get. You have
It's
to
not
show
about
that you
dragging.
worth it.
Um, because then only you will get is what you are saying, isn't it, Shashiji?
Only the
Yes.
hand that gives receives.
Yes, Anjali ji?
Only the hand that gives receives.
Okay, yes, and it is also that's wonderfully said, and
And in a
also it
sense,
is
yeah.
more than an exchange. It is also like your own actions when you bow, when you serve, when you become a little humble, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah,
Yes.
it brings out a better nature. There's a way of it's learning how to get rid of all the negative
Yes, aspects inside of us.
things. Yeah.
And does anybody know Krishna when Rahulji was adding something? I'll just go to Rahulji and then we'll take it ahead. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. No, seva has been there as part of all systems, and the main reason is to dissolve the ego. That's
Yeah.
really what.
Yes, yes, yes. We become more pure on the inside, and we can learn more. We can receive more. That is one thing. You will be surprised. Krishna also went to the ashram. He picked up sticks and did seva inside in an ashram. So Sandipani ashram, where Krishna went there. And across India, we have so many ashrams, isn't it? Why do people come and offer service? I know of a President's Award winner. That person goes and he offers service in the Aurobindo ashram. He's a great Sanskrit scholar. Why is he doing that? He's done such great research. And today only he met that he got some big grant from the government for 5 lakhs for publishing one very ancient scripture, and he has done wonderful work. All of that is there. But why does he have to go and serve there?
It
Dr.
keeps you
Nandikrishna ji.
grounded and make you more humble.
Yes, yes, it keeps you grounded. Makes you more humble, and it is important. They say, no, Guru bina jnana kahan se paun. The Guru is a tattva in the world. You will receive it only when you become, ready to receive it. To become ready, you must be like how Arjuna was, isn't it? He said, Shishyasteham Shadimam Tvam Prapanna. Then only his beloved Krishna could give him the Gita because there was humility. Sometimes heads of organizations go and start cleaning trash. They start taking a broomstick and start cleaning, mopping the floors in some place. So, what are they cleaning there? What trash are they moving or removing? Well, on the outside, they may be removing something, but here on the inside, also, there's a lot of trash that has to be taken out and thrown. That is what happens when we do that. So, we become purified. So, that is another important aspect which will allow you to control yourself, control your lower nature also. Let us go on. Like there was one person I remember, that person had asked one very big question before taking Guru Diksha. Now, what if if I surrender to this Guru, then I will have to do everything that the Guru tells me. Oh no, it's looking a little scary, and then some elder person, so it's nothing to be worried about. Just what you are going to do is it is going to help you. In hindsight, that person laughs at that particular fear at that time. That person was not willing to offer. But afterwards, now the life has changed completely. Even my Guruji, when he was very small, he had gone to a particular Babaji, some yogi had come, and so he immediately went there. And now he said, now is the time for Guru Dakshina after he gave the Ashirwad. And Amliji was very small and he put his hand in his pocket and there's nothing inside. What will I give Guru Dakshina? And he got scared and he said, what should I give? He said, I want in Guru Dakshina, I want all of this Kama, Krodha, Mada, Moha, Matsar. Give all of that to me. Huh, okay, I can give it. No, 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 it's not just like that. Now, when you give it consciously to me. Henceforth, you are not going to have any of it inside of you. I am going to take this away from you. Because that is the real way of the Guru. Guru does not take things from the Shishya. There is nothing. Guru's role is like that of a catalyst. Catalyst remains inert, isn't it, in a chemical reaction? But the reactant are converted into brilliant final products. That is exactly what is the role. So somebody must, that is why one person must go find. It's all right. One need not be feared or afraid also, because many times people are afraid. What if I go to the wrong guru? What if I'm taken for a ride? We all have common sense, isn't it? We all have our own inner viveka. And we have, if a sincerity of surrender is there, the divine who is the supreme will work through even a person who is having a wrong intention and make that person have a good intention. Somebody's wrong ploy also will become a divine miracle for you to transform into something else. These are all experiences of people, and the divine is sitting there to ensure that beautiful connection takes place or beautiful transformation takes place. One of the shlokas, one of the stutis of Ganesha is his name is he's called Guru Pakhanda Khandakaya. He is the one who destroys the false gurus also and takes the person to the right. That is the divine who is sitting everywhere. So one need not worry that, but worry about what is going to happen wrong. Instead, with sincerity of surrender towards the divine, it will take you ahead. This is a very important aspect. You want to know, well, you'll have to go to the knower and you will receive. That is simple as that. That is what Krishna is talking about. Let's go to the next shloka. Shloka number 8. Krishna says, Indriyartheshu vairagyam anahankara eva cha janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanudarshanam. With absolute detachment, devoid of egos, false perceptions, complete vairagya, no false perceptions brought about by ego, and beyond the pull of nature's sensual attractions. A lot of things, take us for a ride, isn't it? Because of our desires. We see something and we immediately start desiring and lusting for it. And that again takes us astray. So you're able to stay firm through the practice of vairagya, through that inner poise that you have cultivated. Such a person, knowing the truth of birth, death, old age, and illness, without sorrow, understanding their underlying oneness. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. These are the four truths of life. Can anybody disagree? Birth, death, old age, and disease. Nobody can disagree. I'll say, I don't want to get old. Agreed. But my wanting or not wanting is not going to change, isn't it? Krishna has said, who is born is going to die, and who is dead is going to be born. So that is again that's something which cannot be changed. Birth and death, old age and illness also. Vyadhi. Can any of us claim to be disease free? Anyone?
Sorry, I didn't get the last
Can
bit. Can any
can
of us?
claim to be disease free, free of diseases?
No.
No, isn't it? We all get it, and no, meaning of disease only is making us out of ease, isn't it? It is
Yeah.
disturbing us, taking our ease out. Well, Krishna is saying if you can be at ease even when you are in disease, well, then you are on the right path. Dukkha dosha darshanam. The best example I always am very lucky to have a friend. I see now I'm saying this for the first time. I'm very lucky to have a friend who had cancer. Because she told me she is so lucky and blessed by God that she's got cancer and that taught her a type of vairagya. Yeah, I remember I was in tears when I first got that news, but today I'm able to at least say because of her that yes, when she saw that with oneness, she says we have to. When she was making those quilling years, she made a page. She called it quilling cancer. We quill to kill the psychosis. It is a disease which is just like any other disease. The additional, what we add, the mental baggage only makes it so much more. It is a disease like every disease. People go through so many things. Some people have diseases, some people have accidents, all different things happen. But we don't add to that mental baggage. And she was able to look at it as a normal thing, though it was very complicated for her. The entire journey was very troublesome. The chemotherapy was horrible for her. And yet she was able to look at it with a samatha. That is what Krishna is telling. All four of them. Disease. Sometimes we get very frustrated, isn't it? Oh no, I got a diagnosis. This test report has given me a very bad result. Immediately we lose our balance. We lose our meaning. Sorrow enters into life. Depression comes. Either our report or somebody else's report. But the story is the same. And Krishna is saying, if you are able to understand this is the truth of life, if you can look at it with oneness, with a little pinch of salt, pinch of pepper, maybe you might identify a higher purpose. It is very much possible. A doctor shared her experience with my mother, who is a pathologist. She actually she passed away. That doctor passed away out of cancer, but she had done a research on that same cancer, which she had done. She got that, and at a very young age. And she was and it was like it proliferated so quickly because she did not look at it for some reason because she thought I'll look at it a little later, and a very short time it became malignant, and there looked like there is nothing, there's no hope only. And yet in the last moments she told, this was her dialogue, I am fully at peace, I understand why this is there. And she was in a very great balance. So it is impossible to see somebody look at even death with a balance. Well, but that was an example. So there are people who are examples of kshetrajnas. We must just understand from them and try to imbibe. Let's understand, let us look at it with oneness. That is something which is a way of the kshetrajna. Absolute detachment. Next, asaktir anab anabhish sorry asaktir anabhishvangah पुत्रदार गृहादिषु नित्यं च समचित्तत्वम् इष्टानिष्टोपपत्तिषु, bereft of anxieties and familial concerns. This is very common, isn't it? Anxieties cause familial concerns, or familial concerns lead to anxieties. One of the two. We are worried about our family members, and that is why we become anxious, or because we have anxiety, we make our family members worried. One of the two always happens. Well, Krishna says the way of the yogi is to be free of such asakti or such anxieties, bereft of anxieties and familial concerns. His children, wife, and home with detachment he discerns. Once more, Krishna is coming to break families? No, he is not. He is just asking us to practice Vairagya. He is asking Arjuna, because it's Arjuna, he is saying children, wife, and home. If it was Draupadi, he would have said children, husband, and home. It is it is just these anxieties which come from attachments. Unless you are detached, you cannot. Isn't it? Many times I can fight everybody in the world, but not my own family members. This is too bad. They are doing like this, they are doing like that. I cannot tolerate this. And this is not what Krishna is talking about. He says you should be able to look at it with detachment. one mother had the great vairagya to ask her son to get out. I think I remember sharing about her some time back in a previous session. So there, she had that detachment to tell her son to God, because that was the only way the son who was not listening in every way by to correct. It was like a corrective measure. If she had not done that, he could have got addicted completely. Instead, now after 3 months, maybe difficult 3 months for the child, but he came back to the mother and said, I understood why you sent me out now. Ma, it was good you sent me out. I really was wrong. I have understood my mistake. Unless there's detachment, it's not possible, isn't it? It's very
It's
tough.
called tough love.
Yeah, beautiful word Shashiji has said. Tough love. Yes, isn't it? Sometimes we need to practice that. It is
Yeah,
difficult.
very important.
Yes, it is. It is necessary. What was, Dhritarashtra is ultimately going to complain. I mean, Duryodhana is going to complain to Dhritarashtra only. In the end, he'll say, you did not scold me, that's why I became horrible. But it was not really his fault. The fault of Dhritarashtra was being blinded by ignorance. He didn't practice what Shashiji rightly said. Tough love. He should have done that. He should have said, Duryodhana, no food for you. Go stand in the corner, face the wall. Don't speak anything until you understand what you did was wrong. But no, he was treated like with kid gloves. He was appeased. Yes, Shashiji. Yes, please.
I just have a question to ask you.
Yeah.
You know, Duryodhan,
Yeah.
he also had a guru.
Yeah.
He was being taught all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Did not any responsibility fall on that guru to guide him that lower your ego, lower this, lower
Huh.
that? Do you think he was ever taught that?
Maybe
Because it was the guru.
in hindsight, we can say that he was not very successful. But the blame cannot go to the guru, just as a children's mistake cannot be blamed to the parents, or
No,
students
absolutely.
can be blamed to the teacher. Yes, it
Yeah,
should ideally he should not have allowed. But
yeah,
maybe what was the mistake then? That is for the guru to introspect, isn't it?
yeah.
Was I a little bit giving a longer rope for no reason? Did that lead to something else? Was I somewhere allowing in the name of he is not going to understand any other way. This is the way. Let it be. It's okay. Somewhere little minor excuses we allow them and they become big later, no? Yes. Mitali is saying something. Yes, please.
Yeah, yeah. Nowadays, like it takes another turn, like it becomes the other way out. So, what can we do in this situation?
Which other way? I didn't understand the context.
Uh, like how the mother asked the child to go out of the house. But
Yeah.
nowadays, there are uh, many times we hear that children get spoiled when they go out. They commit suicide. Many
No, not when
things
they go
happen.
out. No, no, it is not
If you
when they
throw them
go out.
out, like they go out and they get spoiled. In
No,
this
that is here he
situation,
was not, he was getting, means you cannot keep the child caged also, no, Mitali in the house. Sometime or the other, it is not, this is not a SOP. That mother, what she practiced, I would not recommend what she practiced as a SOP. But tough love is something which has to be done, isn't it?
yeah,
Sometimes.
that's true. Yeah.
That is
But
all. That
then,
is all. Means it cannot be used in same case for everybody.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That child was having bad influence outside, no? And yet the mother saw that this person is not learning by good words, nice words. Let him spend some more time and understand the true nature. So at
Yeah.
that particular period, she was actually very scared, but in her heart, she knew what she was doing.
Tough
But
So,
then
decision.
your friend was old enough to be shown the door that he could look after himself. He
sorry,
wasn't a
Jim?
child, as in a child.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So that was
Yes, absolutely. So it's not like that we don't want to advocate. Let us not take
no.
any decision of this cannot be right. Also, I mean,
In some
because
cases,
huh? But
in
it
some cases,
in some
yeah.
cases, and that is our
True.
discretion of the individual who is the parent, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
There are so many parents who don't scold their children at all. that sometimes turns out to be the worst issue completely, isn't it? Then the children go completely out of hand if they don't know what is right and what is wrong. What we call appeasement should not be there. That is what we
Yes.
see. So here, yeah, that's what his no don't we don't have to appease, or people say I need to maintain relationship. We have to maintain relationships. I do not understand that dialogue at all. I mean, I know I have to maintain my motorcycle. I have to maintain the petrol in it. I have to maintain the air. But the same thing in relationships. I don't think in the name of maintaining relationships, we practice appeasement. And then that is where we go away from the truth. Best relationships don't require maintenance at all. They are there. You meet somebody after 10 years also, it will be the same thing. It will be the same thing. If you are on a higher level, you have not done any kind of artificial, what we can say, maintenance there. It's just a bond, isn't it? So that is what Krishna is talking about here. Children, wife, and home with detachment he discerns. And his mind is ever immersed in truths tranquil. So the mind has to be into the, grounded in the truth only. Mind is calm, mind is peaceful. No action done in anger is good. So whatever action, if it is done in peace, quiet on the inside, it's most likely to be a great action. So here, and his mind is ever immersed in truths tranquil, irrespective of the happenings, for or against his will. So again, irrespective of whether things happen according to your wish or if they don't happen according to your wish. That is what Krishna is talking about. But isn't it very difficult to practice this?
Yes,
Example when
definitely.
it is very difficult. Any example, Shashiji? Just when is it difficult?
I'd have to think about that.
Okay, fine.
Normally
Anyone?
practice it with the grandchildren.
But grandchildren are always too sweet and they're, two generations away, no? So everything is excused. Easy to
Almost everything.
almost everything. I remember my grandfather and one nephew. He was jumping on grandfather's bed and making a very weird sound. We had a very different relation with my grandfather. He was very strict, so we could not dare to go on his bed. But this boy was just 5 or 6 years old. He was continuously jumping, and grandfather kept scolding him. But that scolding had no effect in grandfather walked away afterwards, but that child kept jumping only. So I think grandchildren aspect is different. But okay, or let us see in another way. Can we influence our family members to behave according to our will?
No. But
That is man. Yes,
where
ji?
it's children,
Yeah,
you can explain to them why you saying no. Just saying don't do that. It doesn't work. But they're very intelligent children.
yeah.
Just because they're little, we should not make assumptions
Okay.
that they don't understand because they're really way above us when
Yes.
it
Okay.
comes to things.
Okay, ji.
So you
All right.
can talk to them, explain, and they will understand. If you say
What about
don't jump
adults?
on this,
Adults?
I
adults
think
they
spouses,
always know better than you anyway.
Okay. Yes. Anjali ji is adding something. Yes, ji.
I said spouses are the best examples.
Okay. Generalized statement on the day of my anniversary. I don't think I would like to talk much about
Sorry,
it.
sorry, I didn't know
Yes.
that because I joined late. Anyway,
Yes.
my wishes
Okay.
for
Rahul ji was adding something, sir. Yes, sir.
No, I think it's been talked about. Yeah, we can move
Okay.
ahead.
Yes, yes. So irrespective of whether something happens as per your will or not, most of the times what is your will not be done by everyone you know, isn't
Yeah.
it? Getting frustrated or angry will not ensure what you want is going to happen anyway. You just have to sometimes let go, isn't it?
Yes,
You can tell, you can
absolutely.
sometimes as an elder, you give an advice as a caring individual, or it doesn't have to be elder always. As with a good intention, you can do your duty. But
Yes.
after that, you'll have to let go. Yes,
Mm.
sir.
Yeah,
Pankaj ji, yes,
yeah.
sir.
I want to add something here. जैसे
Yes, sir.
आपके दादाजी ने उस बच्चे की परसिस्टेंस के आगे गिव अप कर दिया,
हाँ Yeah.
Same thing happens in family.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to give them good advice, you want to treat them, nice, behave well,
Yes. Yes.
but
Yes.
they are so persistent in their
Yes.
own, behavior that you
Yeah.
tend to give up if you have to be happy. I mean, if you want to be disturbed, just keep, poking him.
Yeah. You keep
It's not going
poking
to
and
work.
keep going. That will be a never-ending
मैं आपको अपना
journey.
एक पर्सनल एग्जांपल बताता
Yes,
हूँ.
sir. Yes, sir.
US में when our kids were
Yeah.
young,
Yes, sir.
so they would come with their cell phone on
Okay.
dinner table,
Yeah.
and we objected that every meal,
Yeah.
every single day, every month. We
Okay.
objected that until we became used to that.
Okay.
So, so we followed that, we pursued that for quite some time, maybe a year or so. But
Yeah.
then there's a stage where, they're so
Somebody,
persistent.
then somebody
You
does
have
not want to listen to us. You take your,
exactly.
that is the, and it is one of the beautiful things of life also, because otherwise, if everybody did listen to everything we say, it will be like talking to a chatbot, no?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
would be manipulating. The parents sometimes manipulate children by creating an atmosphere inside of their home.
And,
And that time they nudge them. This is very good, very good. This is what is good. Continuously. And so the child behaves in that particular manner. But it is not forever. The
yes.
influence gets over, and then the same children, they are very different, and then the parents become anxious because they lose control. They feel their children have gone astray. Oh no, my child has colored hair or got a tattoo. This is the biggest sorrow for somebody who is establishing discipline. Well, but that is all an action and reaction. Instead, if Krishna is saying whether or not things are going, our duties are not to be forgotten, but the
Yeah.
mind can be quiet. That is one more difficult thing. But due to familial issues, sometimes the anxieties become too much that people have to get medication also. People experience hypertension, palpitation. God knows so many such troubles come in. So Krishna is just asking you to go in the, your heart of heart, become quiet on the inside, whether or not something happens as per your will, or whether or not something goes against. Like in one previous batch, a daughter-in-law shared her experience where she was accused of something which was almost like thieving, which she would never do in that own home. And yet everybody sided. It was almost like the TV serial. It was like everybody was saying, "You are the one, you are the one," and everyone treated her wrong. And she tried for some time to, plead her case and try to say that how this is wrong. But when she saw even the elders were not listening, she decided this is not happening according to my will. Let me go, let it go. It took a lot of time, but after 8 months, she was vindicated. The truth came out ultimately. The 8 months were difficult, but she says it was not so difficult after I decided that I am not guilty. I have not done. These are all people who are telling something wrong. Let me not guilt trap myself or get frustrated. Why is this person behaving that way? So that's a very simple solution Krishna is offering us. The wise thing for all of us is sometimes it's all right. Somebody may say you are doing something wrong. It's all right. Like for just like this very big Gita class I was about to begin, I was told, like I said, somebody told me this is a big sin that you are doing, and I was a little bit taken aback. But in the middle, I was thinking I'm going to lose my voice in the first two sessions only because of some voice box issues. But no, that did not happen. And then as the time goes on, it's like I'm learning, I'm enjoying, it is happening. What is right will go ahead. So Satyam Eva Jayate factor should be remembered. So whether or not things happen as per your will or against your will, Krishna says, remain in the truth. Remain grounded in the truth that will give you the strength. We look at one more shloka. I think the time is up, so we probably stop here in the ninth shloka. The way of the Kshetrajna, 7, 8, 9. Krishna has told us these are the ways. We will just see, and it's very interesting. Anything opposite to this is falsehood. In Sanskrit, there is Sat and there is Asat. So, Gyan and Ajnan. What is opposite of knowledge is ignorance. It is as simple as that. So instead of knowing what is ignorance, just understand what is knowledge. Everything that's going against knowledge can become your clear understanding that that is ignorance. So I think with this, we are ready to conclude. If anybody has anything to ask or share, you are welcome.
Sir, I wanted to know what your Guruji told you, that three line things like, he knows not,
Yes, sir.
knows not.
I'll
Yeah.
repeat
So
that.
if you
Yes,
can
sir.
recite that
Sure, sir.
again and what
Yes,
it
sir.
means.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So first, there are three quotes in this. The first quote is, "He who knows not and knows not that he knows not." So he who knows not and knows not that he knows not, leave him. When somebody does not know something and that individual does not even know that that person doesn't know it, so there's no point in trying to explain to such a person. So leave that individual. So the first line is this, sir. It is, "He who knows not and knows not that he knows not, leave him." And there's the second one. "He who knows not and knows that he knows not, teach him." Somebody does not know and says, "Arey, I don't know, I want to learn." Why not? Why not? Somebody has an aspiration to learn. And if you know it, share, teach that person, because that person is a worthy student, willing to learn and willing to grow. So that is how we identify someone who is worth teaching. First one was how to identify worth living, worth teaching. Then the third one, he who knows and knows that he knows, follow him. Somebody who knows and knows that he knows. That is the one who has got the knowledge and he's understood that he has got the knowledge. Such a person is really immersed in the truth, and we can learn from such a person. Follow him.
Yes.
That is what.
Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Please address me as Sushrut, sir. I'm just Sushrut. I'm you are quite senior to me. Ji. Yes. So anything else anybody wishes to add? Yes, Anjali ji.
Oh, I had a doubt. You
Ji.
mentioned Ananda. So what's a Sanskrit word for pleasure?
So
How do you
Kama.
distinguish?
Kama.
Karma. Okay, so that's karma. And
Yes.
Ananda is happiness.
Ananda is
Sukha.
bliss. Bliss,
Bliss.
felicity.
Okay.
Felicity.
So what is
Indriya.
happiness?
Sukha is sometimes connected
Sukha
with
is happiness.
Indriyas.
Okay.
Yes, happiness. Sukha is sometimes connected with the Indriyas. I ate my favorite cake. I got happy. I can't say I got Ananda. No? Ananda would come from something which is beyond the Indriyas. Yes. Yes.
So the word Ananda is very loosely used in everyday language then.
Yes. 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 It is used in loosely only. Yeah. A lot of
Yeah.
words. Yeah. All right. Ji. So I think with this we can conclude our session. If somebody wants to just share some of the takeaways, if you can, one or two points which you feel would be useful for all of us.
I think in this Adhyaya, Krishna is talking about how the body works. All of us
Yes.
are having the similar kind of body, but
Yes,
what
sir.
is making this body function differently is something that is controlling the soul, maybe. And he talks about the traits of the people who are
Kshetrajna,
yeah, yeah.
for the way of knowledge. Okay, yes. Our duties towards the body we cannot neglect, because that is how our life journey is going to get sustained by this vehicle, which is the human body. So I think if nobody wants to add anything, I think with this we can conclude our session today with the Shanti Mantra. Hari Om. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। हरि ओम तत्सत्। कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। हरि ओम पुनर्मिलामः। नमस्कार।
Hari Om.
हरि ओम।
Hari Om.
हरि ओम।
Hari
Thank
Om.
you.
Namaste.
Thank
Hari
you,
Om.
Sister.
Thank you so much.
हरि ओम। थैंक यू जी।
Hari Om.
हरि ओम।
Sushruti,
यस जी।
very quickly, I wanted to tell you something. The other day we were talking about the various layers outside our body, and you
Yeah.
said we were talking about somebody who has got that camera, to put the word loosely.
Okay.
I read something today where I think this was a Russian physicist,
Okay.
and he'd actually apparently seen the soul leave the body, and everything was confiscated of him. Everything was hidden. I just came across it. I just wanted to know, I think it's on Instagram, I'm not very sure. If I send it to Chitraji for you, would that be okay? Would you? It's
Okay,
quite
we'll have to.
interesting.
Yes, only when we see this references many times in these media channels, we have to little bit verify the references there
Absolutely.
because
The names were all given, but it was quite interesting as I've never
if you
heard of
want to,
it
if you want
before.
to send an audio of your own understanding of the same, that would be very nice. It is like you can hear it, and I like this. It can be informal. It doesn't have to be a formal
Oh,
commentary. That way, because
okay.
one of the reasons we are doing that is because there are a lot of youngsters, and in previous batches, one Instagram link comes in, and then
Oh,
the
no, no.
yuddha
And
that would
no,
start.
I would not send it in the batch
Yeah,
group.
but
No,
if you can
it
send
was
an audio,
strictly,
no, if it
yeah,
can, you send, because even if I send it or if Chitraji sends it, it will be like, why are why are they sending it when we
yeah.
are not
No, no,
allowed?
absolutely.
So, but you can
Okay,
share that. What you like, you can just share as an audio. Please do not worry about it has to be perfectly accurate. Whichever with
okay,
what your understanding is, you can share with us. Yes, Ji.
okay. Thank you very
Thank you, Ji.
much. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you, Ji.
Have a
Namaskar.
wonderful year ahead till
Thank
your
you, Ji.
next anniversary,
Thank you so
both
much.
of you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Namaskar.
thank you,
Hare
Jim. Happy anniversary.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, bye.
Namaskar. Bye, sir.